Hello, my beautiful friend. Betsy Gutting here. Welcome to my channel. Super fun and empowering topic today. Your 2022 numerology forecast for your personal year. I did a separate video on the universal year of 6. So check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But this one is specifically for you, your personal year, based on the universal year of 6 and your birthday. And I'm going to get into how to calculate your personal year. I'm going to share your theme. Every personal year has a theme. I'm going to share your theme and give you some more information on that and do an oracle card reading for each personal year. I love these cards. They are the self-care cards by Cheryl, Richardson. And I thought that was so perfect because we are in a universal year of a 6. If you add 2022 together, you get 6. And it's a year of well-being. It's a year of harmony and balance and pleasure and feeling good overall. I get way more in depth in the universal year video, but I thought the self-care cards were so perfect for our readings today. So if you are new to me, I am a soul guide, an intuitive life coach, and a psychic astrologer. And I love helping to empower you to free yourself, to follow your heart's true calling. If you like an astrology reading, if you'd like a personal reading, I offer astrology readings. We can look at your numerology at the same time. I also offer coaching sessions, and I love weaving in astrology and numerology with my coaching clients as well. So all the details for that are below my website, etc., how you can book your session. And I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. It's so much fun for me, this new community for me of YouTube. And I really want this to be a like-minded community where you can find your soul tribe. So let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you are looking for your soul tribe and you like my vibe, then I invite you to subscribe. You found it. Okay. So let's get into the numerology. Some of you may know that numerology is an ancient metaphysical science, and it sees life in a certain way. So in numerology, life moves through 9-year cycles. There are patterns of numbers in nature, and they're reflected in the vibration of each number as well. Each number has its own vibration, and each number has its own theme. And what I love about the numerology in general, and specifically the personal year process and system, is that it helps us to know what season we're in. Like the famous song by the Byrds, to every thing, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. So it reminds us that some years are for some things and other years are for others. Some years are for our internal processing or for reflection and rejuvenation and health focus. Other years we have a focus on relationships. Other years we have a focus on putting something out into the world, launching something. And some years we're just cutting ties and creating space for something new the next year. So we're like trees, like trees hibernate in winter and they drop their leaves, and then in the spring they begin to sprout new leaves, and then they bear fruit in the summer often. And so, we don't expect a tree to bear fruit in the winter. And so this is why knowing what your personal year is and what season in a way you're in is super empowering and helps you to accept exactly where you are and love the process of your life while it's happening, rather than to push against the river and to go, try to move out of alignment with your soul. So let's get into each of the personal year numbers. The number 6, the 2022 universal year that we're in, it's ruled by Venus. Every and Venus love Venusian things, right? Good food, good company, all those wonderful things, comfort, pleasure. So the 6th universal year is really the backdrop to where we are, to our personal year. It's like the weather going on in the background. It sets a tone, it sets a feeling tone. So here we are in a 6th year as the backdrop. And now let's talk about, go through each of the personal years, personal year, and I'm going to give a reading for each one. give you the theme, and pull a card for each one. And you may already be feeling your personal year now. We're ending 2021, but oftentimes in November and certainly by December, we start to feel the vibration of the new year we're about to go in. Okay, so personal year number 1. If you're in a personal year of 1 in 2022, you are going to be ruled by the sun. The sun is your life force. It is your mojo. So you may feel something picking up within you. You may feel, coming back to life, your joie de vivre coming back, your mojo coming back. You've just come through a year of a 9. And a 9 is a year where we close out the end of a cycle. Lots of times in a 9 year, we can just feel like we're creating space. We're cutting ties to things. We're envisioning what we want to do next. And it can feel like a long year. It can feel like a hard year, honestly, a challenging year, because it's not so much about seeing the fruits of your labor. It can be, but oftentimes it's about cutting ties to things, and that can be emotionally draining. So now you're in a 1 year, new beginnings, new possibilities. You may be coming up with a vision for the next 9-year cycle. You could be starting a training program. You could be starting a new career. You could be going to a new job or moving even. And it's a year where you really want to let yourself focus on you. Give yourself permission to have this be your year, to have you be number 1 in your life. That's not easy for a lot of us to do, especially those of us who are used to doing service to others, dropping everything. If you're a caretaker and you tend to drop everything for other people, this is the year to really prioritize you and your well-being and your desires, your heart's desires. What do you want to do next? Let's pull a card and see what the cards have to say to you. I'm shuffling for personal year number 1. Ooh, the card is friendship. It says, call a friend. When you're mirrored with love, you see yourself clearly. So my intuition says that this card is telling you that you have a lot of support and you have people who will have your back. If you are willing to share with them what you want for this year, don't feel like it's you're giving too much to yourself. Don't feel like you're being selfish. Allow yourself to get support, to talk with other people, to maybe talk with a friend about your vision. If you're not clear on what you want to do yet, you can get support from a coach like me, or if you have supportive friends, you can talk with them. But this is really a time to be thinking about what you want to do next and to feel your energy rising again. Personal year number 2. If you're going into a personal year of 2, this is a highly sensitive year. This is a time that you will probably see your psychic abilities blossom. You will have heightened intuitive powers. You will be more sensitive than usual. So on the flip side, you could have things bother you more than usual, like loud noises or negative energy. It's a good time to shield your energy before you go out, especially. It's a good thing to do anyway, but you may want to just become aware of energy clearing techniques if you're not already aware and using them. Great time for meditation. Make sure you have a spiritual practice like journaling or dancing or taking walks in nature, because your energy system is going to be more sensitive to higher vibrations. You could be getting new downloads. You could be going through an awakening process. It's also a year of union and intimacy. It's a year you're really going to want intimacy. So this could be through friendship. It could be through a lover. You could want a new romance. You could really want to meet a soulmate this year. And it's a great year to attract a partner. It's also a great year to attract soulmates in friendship, best friends. 1 year that I was in a 2-year, I did a training in expressive arts therapy for a whole year, and I met all of these wonderful women, and they became, many of them, my best friends, hopefully for life. And so, it's a year that we want to bare our souls to other people. It can be a very healing year, but it's really a year for collaboration, for cooperation, not to do a lot on your own. Ask for help, get support. be supportive of others to the degree that it works, you know, you have time and energy for it. And yeah, a year of partnership and union and intimacy and connection. And if you're not interested in a partner and you don't have a partner, then you might want to get a pet if you don't already have a pet. But you could become closer to your pet too if you have one. Okay, let's pull a card for you. For people in a 2 personal year, Spirit, what do you have to tell them? Okay, the card is Time. Beautiful little girl in this golden gown. Such a beautiful card. It says, schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. I love this card because it also brings to mind how important it is in a 2 year to be connected to your own soul, to partner with your soul if you don't already have a clear partnered sense of connection with your soul. And in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, I teach you how to partner with your own soul. I give you specific techniques to create an intimacy with your own soul. And I even have an exercise in there called a soul date. So this is so cool because it says schedule a sacred date with yourself. So 2 year, all about you deepening your connection with yourself and with possibly a significant other. Okay, if you are going into a 3 personal year in 2022, a 3 year is about new friends, social gatherings, activities, celebration. 3 is the number of the artist, so you could be more creative this year. It's the number of the communicative healer, so it's about communication. It's about our neighborhood and our local activities, and often a year when we take more road trips, you know, 2 to 3 days kind of trips, like more local, not long distance travel. But it's a year where we're kind of coming out and we're beginning to blossom, and there's a sense of abundance in a 3 year. There's a sense of expansion. It's ruled by Jupiter, and if you know Jupiter, it is the planet of expansion. It's very important to take care of your health, as it always is, but we don't want like health issues expanding. So basically Jupiter expands what it touches. So it's a beautiful year to have an intention of abundance, of connection, soul connection, whatever you want to create this year. You know, a 3 year is really kind of eclectic year because, as you can see, as I'm talking about, there are a lot of different areas where you can really expand and grow. But it is a year that we feel more outward. We're more outward focused, and we tend to want to have more fun. It's really important to let your inner child play in a 3 year. If you haven't had enough play, if you don't have enough laughter, if you're not having enough fun, then you definitely want to check in with your inner child, find out what he or she wants, and add that to whatever you're doing, because it's a year that we really need to nurture that playful side, our creative side, bring more joy into our lives, not be so serious. Okay, so what do the cards have to say for a 3 year? 3 year people. Ooh, so I said it was a year of abundance, blessings. And it says, the light gets in the way, it says, count your blessings. A grateful heart attracts more joy, love, and prosperity. So maybe adding a gratitude practice if you don't have one already, but this is so validating of a year of abundance for you. As long as you're connected to your blessings of what you have now, they can grow. Okay, personal year number 4. If you are going into a personal year of 4 in 2022, this is a year of focus, work, having a goal, and really, it's like the Sagittarius Archer bullseye. It's like you have a bullseye. You know where you're going. You know what you want. You have a focus. It's really important to have a focus in a year of 4 because we're laying a new foundation. A 4 is the 4 corners of your life. It is the foundation. So it could be a goal to get into better health, to get into better shape, to exercise more, to eat better. It could be a goal for your finances, to improve your finances. It's basically a goal for whatever area of life has meaning for you, where you want to set a goal and have success. you probably will feel yourself really striving and working toward it quite a bit. You might work more on this than anything than the previous 3 years that you have done. So you need to it's important to pace ourselves in a 4-year, not work too hard. Give ourselves breaks. I need to take a breath. Give ourselves breaks, take breaths, breathe. And in a 4-year, the planet is actually not a planet, but the ruling planetary point is a point in your astrology chart is the North Node, and North Node is destiny. So whatever goal this is, it needs to be a goal that's connected to your soul, because it's our souls, of course, that pull us forward toward our destiny. Only our soul really knows our destiny. Our ego really has no idea what our destiny is. It thinks it does, but it really doesn't. So your soul has a plan for you. It has a blueprint. It's in your astrology chart. It's in your numerology chart. If you're not aware of what those are, definitely check out my readings on my website, because I'd love to illuminate things for you in those areas. A 4 is a year that your health, if you work too hard, if you're not taking enough breaks, if you're burning the candle at both ends, you're going to feel it in your health. So definitely be conscious of balance in a 4-year, even though you could become very obsessive about whatever it is, what your goal is. But if you have a clear focus, if you have a goal that you're moving in the direction of, this year will go way better for you than if you are not focused. You'll feel like your energy is scattered if you don't have a focus. So it's good to have a focus and important to, but just not to get too obsessed, and to give yourself breaks. And remember, you're laying a foundation. So be easy on yourself. It may not happen as quickly as you want it to. Give it some time. You're working toward it. Okay, what do the cards have to say for your personal year of 4? I love this card. Support. And you can see there's an angel, and there's a little boy and a little girl holding the angel's hand, and she's lighting the way. Offer your support to someone. Experience the joy of serving others. So I feel like this card is saying, make sure that your goal is in support of a higher goal, so to speak. So a goal that is good for you and is supportive of others as well. Something where you really feel like you're in service to others as well as yourself. In the big picture of life, you could be creating art, and that's what your soul wants to do, and that brings your beautiful art to the world. So it doesn't have to be something where you're doing healing work necessarily or coaching another person, but the work is divinely guided. Okay, if you are in a personal year of 5 in 2022, a 5 year is all about change. A 5 is about energy, is adventure. It's a 5 energy is adventure. See, I'm already getting like, my brain is going. It's ruled by Mercury, which is so interesting, because Mercury is our mind's processes. It's our perceptions, and Mercury is the messenger. So Mercury will be guiding you, and it can sometimes feel very discombobulating. It can feel like you are so up in your head and you're overanalyzing, and changes are happening that maybe you're not ordering off the menu, and it can feel it can be easy to scatter your energy in a 5 year. The important thing with the 5 year is to remember, number one, it will go very quickly, because 5 is a fast moving energy, so it will feel like your year is like here and gone. You want to stay grounded. Have practices for grounding, putting your feet on the earth, doing a meditation where you are sinking your roots deep into Mother Earth and pulling her energy up so that you feel grounded at all times, or other grounding processes. A 5 year is a time when you're becoming aware of things that you no longer want in your life. You may not make the choice right away. You may not take action. And I actually recommend that you don't take any action in a 5 year that's big and permanent and like a big life change, unless you are absolutely 100% aligned. It's something you've been thinking about. You want to do it, because otherwise in a 5 year, we can feel like a sense of urgency, and I need to hurry up and make this move. I need to hurry up and start a business or whatever. And if you're not doing it from a place of calm and peace and a soul-inspired action, then you can end up regretting it later, like you just jumped into something too quickly. So let's see what the cards have to say about a 5-year. Adventure, freedom, change, and could be a very creative year as well. 5 energy is super creative. Time when you want to travel. Go for it if you want to travel in a 5-year. Okay, for 5s, what is the card? What is the card for 5s? 5 energy. Ooh, I love it. Creativity. Creativity. Express your creativity. Delight in the mystery of your inner muse. You know, 5 energy loves to explore. So you may want to explore more. You may feel like you want to have more experiences, and that's 5 energy. That's what it's for. So go for it. Give yourself that. Okay, if you are going into a 6 universal year, you are right in tune, or 6 personal year, you're right in tune with the 6 universal year. So how perfect, perfectly matched. As I said in the introduction, a 6 year is about pleasure and harmony and balance and joy, soul connections, family connections. You may be very focused on family and home, or finding your soul tribe, or, you know, just feeling more of a sense of home, inner home within yourself. It's a year of focusing on your health, often through holistic kinds of healing means. It's all about well-being. It's all about feeling good. In a 6 year, you have permission to go for what you're emotionally guided to. In other words, whatever you don't have a heart connection to, whatever you don't feel emotionally connected to, you won't want to do. So you want to make sure that your work is emotionally fulfilling for you, your relationships are, and you'll probably end up spending a lot of your focus on relationships in a 6 year. It's ruled by Venus. Venus is about love and romance and beauty and creativity and money too. So money could be a focus in this year as well. Let's see what the cards have to say for your 6 personal year. Really a year of well-being. I'd be really happy and excited if I were in a 6 year. Aw, okay, this card is tenderness. There's a little girl there. Speak gently to yourself. Cherish the child within. That's so beautiful. So I feel that this card is saying, be aware of your inner child, because your inner child is what gives you your joie de vivre. Your inner child is what is trying to knock on the door of your psyche and say, let's do this. Let's go play here. Let's go have fun here. And sometimes, you know, we forget what we really love. Maybe something you love to do as a child that you haven't done in a long time. I would give yourself permission to do that. And it could be a year where you do some inner child healing as well. I do a lot of inner child healing with my clients, so if that interests you, check out my website and my coaching as well. Okay, enjoy your year of 6. Beautiful year. If you're coming into a 7 year, a 7 year has a very different vibration from the 6 year, whereas the 6 was all about family, home, soul connections, well-being, and money and abundance and so on. A 7 year is a year where we really pull in. It's less about our outer world and much more about our inner world. A 7 year is about awakening. Awakening to your higher spirit. You may find yourself in an ascension process in a 7 year. A 7 year is a year where being connected to nature is very, very healing and helpful. Lots of long walks in nature if you can. Putting your feet in the sand on the beach or putting your feet on the earth. I know sometimes it's too cold to do that, but a 7 year is a year of restoration, rejuvenation, reflection. One of my 7 years, I took a trip to Hawaii by myself, and it was so amazing, and I did so much healing on that trip. So it's a year where you might want to take a trip, you might want to take a retreat, you might want to do a yoga retreat or some sort of retreat where you're giving yourself that time to just be away from it all and to be in a beautiful, peaceful environment. A 7 year is when we want to cultivate inner peace. It's not a year where you're probably going to have a lot of outward manifestations unless you're a writer and you want to write a book or you want to write poetry or songs. It's a beautiful time for that. It's really 7 is the writer's number. So you could take a writing retreat. Let's see what the cards have to say for your 7 year. The card is intent. What a gorgeous card. Focus your energy. There is amazing power in a strong intention. What a beautiful card. The message here, of course, being make sure you set an intention for your 7-year. What do you want to attain in terms of your inner being? What do you want to experience in your 7-year of reflection and rejuvenation and restoration? Set an intention for that, and it will be even more, you'll call on the grace of the universe to support you in that. I forgot to say that a 7-year is ruled by Neptune. And if you know the planet Neptune, it's our connection to our higher guidance. Neptune is our highest self. Neptune is creativity. It's the artist. It's where we merge with the infinite intelligence. So I said at the beginning of the 7-year reading that it can bring you an awakening. It can bring you an ascension process. I love Neptune. It can make us very idealistic. So just be aware that you may have moments of disappointment when you feel like things are not measuring up to the ideal of what you thought it would be or what you wanted. But Neptune is, it's like when you listen to the music you absolutely love and you just merge with that music. And in Neptune energy, we just merge with things and people and places. So we have to be aware of boundaries as well. So we don't have, we don't forget where we begin and where we end. They end, we begin. You get what I'm saying? Okay, enjoy your 7-year. If you are in an 8 personal year, the 8 personal year in 2022, the 8 year is all about success. The 8 year is what you've been working toward the 7 previous years. It is literally outer manifestations. It is the harvest year. It's where we tend to work very, very hard. It's ruled by Saturn. Saturn wants us to work hard. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is discipline. Saturn says, if you put in the work, you will reap the rewards. You shall reap what you sow. So an 8 year is often a year where we finally get recognition for all the hard work that came the 7 years before. It's a time when we, with Saturn, we want to feel respected by others. We want to feel recognized. We want to see the results of our labor. It's just as simple as that. And it can be a year of great abundance. It's really just going to depend on how things went, how much time and work you put in before that, but also the year of the 8. It's a signal of business success. But, even if you're retired, it's, what does success mean to you? The 8 is the infinity symbol. So it's really dependent on your own definition of success. And in a 6 universal year, which again, we're going into in 2022, the 6 universal says, if you're not emotionally, in a positive way, emotionally attached to whatever it is you're doing, including your work, you will feel that. So in an 8 personal year with the backdrop of a 6 universal year, I would highly encourage you to tune into what your heart wants and follow your heart as much as you possibly can. And if you're not that connected to your work deep down, well, have other outlets that fulfill you emotionally, because emotional fulfillment is very important in a 6 universal year. Yes, you're in an 8 year, but we've got the backdrop of the 6. So let's pull a card and see what the cards have to say for you. For those of you having an 8 personal year, I'm shuffling the cards and pulling one now. Ooh, the card is Wisdom. This is such a pretty card. Very sensual card, Wisdom. You can see it with the light in the way. I'll get out of the way here. Wisdom. It says, let go of the need to control. Trust in the wisdom of the divine plan. So this is saying, go back to your soul, your connection to your soul. What is the divine plan for you? We often have trouble. It's not always easy connecting to what is my divine plan, right? But I feel like this card is saying, yes, you're going to work really hard in an 8 year. Yes, you will reap rewards. It will be fulfilling on an outer level, but don't forget your inner fulfillment. Don't forget your connection to your inner, to what fills up your cup, because we can't keep giving energy out without filling our cup and bringing, rejuvenating ourselves. So, and an interesting message about let go of the need to control. In an 8-year, it's, 8 is the number of power as well. So in an 8-year, we can really be connected to wanting to feel in our power. So there's soul power, which is our divine, natural power. And then there's ego power, right? Which is the part of us that wants to control. So I know, I sense what this card is saying is like, try when you find yourself really clutching and holding on and wanting to control and make things happen, know that you're coming from a place of ego. It's not easy. We all come from ego at times. None of us is always in an elevated, soul-connected state 24/7. But give yourself moments to connect with your inner wisdom and stay connected to your divine plan. And if you're not sure what your divine plan is and you're questioning, connect with me and I will happily assist you. Okay, enjoy your 8-year. The 9 personal year, for those of you going into a 9 personal year in 2022, the 9 year is all about letting go. It's about endings. It's about completion. You've just completed a whole 9-year cycle. Congratulations. You've done a lot of work, inner and outer, I'm sure. So a 9-year is a chance to clear space. Think clutter clearing. Think emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual clutter clearing. Clutter clearing on all levels. 9-year would be a great year to seek coaching or therapy to help you release what's no longer serving you. A 9-year is a great year to clean out your closets, your basement, and so on. I know that's not fun, but think of it as you're creating space for a 1-year. You're going to come into a 1-year, which is all about new beginnings and initiating new things, projects, career related stuff, perhaps, or taking a new trip. It could be anything moving. So you're right now in a 9-year. A 9-year can feel like it's moving very slowly, and you could feel very restless because your soul knows that it's time for a fresh start in a 1-year. And you are sometimes in a 9-year too, you're cutting cords to relationships. Sometimes there's a grief process in a 9-year. You are literally shedding a skin. You are literally going into the cocoon so you can come out of the cocoon as a butterfly in a 1-year. So it really is sometimes a deep clearing out process. And it's important to honor where you are when you're in a 9-year. And if things feel like new, a 9-year is generally not a good year to launch something new unless you've been planning it for a long time. A 9-year is kind of like, it's ruled by Mars, and Mars does the cutting. Mars cuts cords. Mars, says that's gotta go, this is no longer. So it is naturally a time, if you were a tree, you would be dropping your leaves, you would be going through kind of that winter hibernation period. That's what a 9-year often feels like a winter. But it's interesting that it's ruled by Mars because Mars is, kind of our mojo, and Mars wants to get going and take action. And so where it is that you can create space, use your Mars energy for that. Use your drive to pare down and create space for your 1 personal year that will be in 2023. Okay, so I'm shuffling the cards and I'm going to pull a card for all of you who are in a 9-year in 2022. What do you have to say for my beautiful 9 years? Ooh, I love this card. Dance. Step into the light. Share your gifts and talents with the world. So you may see this card and say, wait a minute, you just told me that in a 9-year, there's not a lot of outward movement. And this is saying, step out, step into the light, share your gifts and talents with the world. And I say that this card is, first of all, dancing is a fabulous medium for shedding, for releasing emotions. Especially I release a lot of pent-up emotions through dancing myself, but also sharing your gifts and talents with the world. That can still happen during a 9-year. And maybe this is, talking about your vision that you're creating during your 9-year for your 1-year. We can share, it's important to share our gifts and talents with the world in whatever form we're motivated to do that in any year. A 9-year is just not the best year to usually not launch something brand new that we're just coming up with in a 9-year. But as always, it's important to listen to your own intuition, your own soul, your own inner guidance, and act from there. So I hope that you enjoyed these personal year for 2022 readings. These are so much fun to share. I think it's so much fun to share with friends. What personal year are you in? This is what I'm doing. What are you doing? Friends, family, my daughters and I always come together and talk about it, especially over the holidays. So if you are inspired by this and you want to share with others, that would be an amazing way to support my channel as well. And I so appreciate your likes, your comments, love connecting with you, your shares and your subscribes, your presence, and thank you for listening today to this video. And I am sending you all my love, and I will be back very soon with another video. All my love.